బ్రీఫ్గా వద్దు, ఓరల్గా చెప్పండి.
ఓకే done.
ఓకే సార్.
రైట్.
అంటే పీడిఎఫ్లో బ్రీఫ్గానే ఉంటుంది కదా?
అవునవును.
ఓకే సార్, అట్లయితే బ్రీఫ్గా ఓరల్గా చెప్పేయండి మాకు.
ఓకే అమ్మా. రైట్. So for this Java operators, Java used to work with individual bits, zeros and ones for the given value. Whatever the value we entered, that will be converted into the zeros and ones internally. And with these zeros and ones, if you want to work, you can go for the bitwise operators. As these operators works with bits, zeros and ones, that's why these are called bitwise operators. So with help of the bitwise operators, we can work with the integer also, nothing but if you want to enter integer values in your program, that is valid. If you enter the integer values like 30, 40, whatever the decimal values, that will be converted into the zeros and ones internal. After converting, bitwise operator starts working. Otherwise, if you want to give the binary value directly, like 0101, the binary values, you can do that also. Two are valid. As I said already, if you enter integer values, that will be converted into the binary format. Otherwise, directly you can enter the binary values as the input. And this is about that point only. If integer input is the integer value, that is decimal value, that will be converted into the binary first. After that, the bitwise operator starts working on the binary values, and the result will be generated in the binary value. And before displaying that value, that should be translated into the binary to decimal, because human can understand decimal numbers only, because it is very difficult to understand the binary values for the humans. So after converting into the decimal, that result will be displayed on the screen. This is how to work with the bitwise operators. In case if you enter the integer values, decimal values, the categories of the bitwise operators are bitwise and, bitwise or, bitwise exclusive or, XOR exclusive or, and the symbols we used for the bitwise and is and symbol. Generally, we use the word and, bitwise and. And remember, if you write and symbol two times, that is logical and. If you write only single time, that is bitwise and. Don't confuse. Bitwise or, generally it is called pipe symbol. The technical term for this is bitwise or. Bitwise exclusive or, generally we use the word caret symbol or cap symbol for this. The technical term is bitwise exclusive or. Still, we have some more categories of the bitwise operators: bitwise complement, bitwise left shift, bitwise right shift, unsigned right shift. These are the total categories of the bitwise operators. The symbols about bitwise complement is tilde symbol, or you may use the word negation. Bitwise left shift, two less than symbols. We use to implement bitwise left operation. Bitwise right shift operation, two greater than symbols. Unsigned right shift operator, for that we use three greater than symbol. This is not available in C, CPP. It is available in Java itself, but remaining these six bitwise operators are also available in C, C++ also. All these are binary operators which requires two operands except bitwise complement. The meaning is already we covered that the point what are some operators are binary operators, some operators are unary operators. In this, all the operators are binary operators except bitwise complement. What is the meaning of that is, if you want to work with any bitwise operators, at least you need to maintain two values or two operands. But if you want to work with a bitwise complement, you need to use only single value, because bitwise complement is a unary operator, not binary operator. Coming to the bitwise and, already we discussed about logical and. Two values are true, the final value is true. In the same way, bitwise and, if the two inputs are ones, okay, the bitwise and give the result that is one. If either bit of an operand is zero, the result of corresponding bit is evaluated zero. Nothing but if two values are one, then only In that case, only the final value is 1. If any one of the value is 0, you will get 0 as an output. See this truth table about the bitwise AND. Whenever you have two 1 values, this is highlighted within the blue color now. 1, 1. Two values are 1. The result is 1. In all remaining cases, you may have two zeros. You may have first value is 0, second value is 1. Otherwise, reverse of that, first value is 1, second value is 0. You will get zeros. Okay. Suppose if you take bitwise AND operator, you are giving the input 12 and 25. You may write in your code like 12 bitwise and 25. What happens internally? First, the 12 is a decimal value, nothing but integer value will be converted into the equivalent binary value. This will be done internally. You no need to do anything for this. And later 25 integer value also will be converted into the its equivalent binary value internally. After that, in this case, we are discussing about bitwise AND. Already we know that the rule about the bitwise AND. Now observe this line, third row. Whenever we have the two ones, two values are 1, the result is 1. And in all remaining cases, in all other cases, you may have 0, 1, 0 or two zeros, whatever. Okay. All are 1. And finally, this value is generated. And after that, this value is converted into the decimal value again. The decimal equivalent value for this binary value is 8. That value will be displayed as a result of your program on the screen. Okay, that will be done internal. So in the same way, bitwise OR operator, if at least one value is true, nothing but 1, the final value is 1. See the truth value, at least one value is 1. Okay, if at least one value, the result is 1. You may have two values also. At least one means, so if you have two 1 value also, final result is 1. So you can say the same rule in the different manner. Whenever we have two zeros, the final value is 0. In all remaining cases, the output is 1. The two rules give the same meaning. This is about bitwise OR operator. And no need to explain, I think, same thing. We covered already just now, but only the formula is different. Here we are implementing OR. And exclusive OR, the result of bitwise exclusive operator is 1 if the corresponding bits of two operands are opposite. This is important part. Whenever we have the two opposite values, in that case only the final value is 1. Remaining all other cases, we will get 0 as an output. See now, this is the highlighted case, 0, 1, opposite values. So result is 1. In this case also opposite value, but in this case, first value is 0, second value is 1. First value is 1, second value is 0. Whatever it might be, the place, but those two values are opposite. So the final value is 1. In all remaining cases, that is 0. Okay, this is about exclusive OR. Bitwise complement, very simple. Complement is nothing but reverse. As we discussed, this is unary operator. It complements the value. Nothing but zeros becomes ones, ones becomes zeros. If the input is 0, the complement of that value becomes 1. If the input is value, the output will be 0. Zeros becomes ones, ones becomes zeros. That is about bitwise complement. This is somewhat in-depth explanation about the bitwise complement, but let me skip as of now. Okay. Then left shift operator. This is used to shift a particular number of the bits to the left hand side. As the name suggests, left shift. If you want to shift to the left hand side, particular number of the bits, you can go for the left shift operator. See this, you will get the idea easily. Suppose I have the variable x, I am storing the value 12 in that. So the 12 equivalent value is this one in the binary value. And if you write x left shift operator 1, the meaning of this is one bit is going to shift it to the left hand side. See now, this is the actual value. This is generated after shifting the one bit to the left hand side. How it will be happen? Starts from the right end. This is the input value. This is input value. These are input equivalent value in the binary. first bit, which is available in the first bit from the right hand side, will be shifted by one position because we are writing the code x left shift one. That's why it is going to shift it to the left hand side by one place. Okay, one cell. So what is the value available in the first cell in the input? That will becomes to the second place in the output. And in the same way, second position store in the third position in the result. Shifted to only one cell to the left hand side like this. And we have an extra value in the input that will be deleted. Okay. And so in this process, we may get some empty spaces also. These empty spaces are filled with zeros. And finally, this complete value will be converted into the decimal value. That decimal value will be printed as the output of this program. See now? Okay. So finally, the equivalent value for this binary value in the decimal is 24. Okay. If you run this program, you will get 24 as an answer. I will show you that program also. See now? Same program, public class, we are creating the class, main method. Within that, we are implementing left shift operator, x assignment 12, storing 12 into the variable x, implementing left shift operator. See now, system dot out dot println x left shift 1. This is the code only. And as of now, we discussed what's happening internally if we write this code. Okay. Then I'm trying to executing this code. See now, what is the output we are going to get? Now see 24. Okay. 24 is the output of our program. How we are getting 24? Because internally we are implementing this process. We are storing 12. The 12 is converted into the binary values internally. And we are implementing left shift 1. So one bit is moving to the left hand side. Okay. Each and every bit is moving to the left hand side by one position because we are writing left shift 1. If you write x left shift 2, each and every digit is shifted to the left hand side by two positions. Okay. So if we are writing x left shift 1, moving to the left hand side, and one more, the value is generated in the binary value. Finally, that value is converted into the decimal value. That value is 24. That's why we are getting 24. This is the same process will be implemented for each and every bitwise operators. Okay. Then let us start a new topic, control statements concept. Then, what is the use of control statement? Why we go for the control statement? As of now, we covered some points and some small programs also. In that, the execution method is, suppose, see this program, how this program will be executed. First, it start with the main method, and first statement will be executed within the main method. What is the first statement? In this example, sixth statement. Sixth line is the first statement in the main method. This is not a part of the code. This is the comment line. So first statement will be executed. Then what is the second statement? After that, third statement, fourth statement, and so on. Now, what you need to understand is, if you are not implementing any control statement concept, the program will be executed in the sequential manner in which order you have developed that code. But now what I want to do is, I want to skip some statements, or I want to jump from one place to another place in the program. Otherwise, I want to execute some. So if you want to execute some statements repeatedly also, you can do that. Okay, with help of the control statements concept, we can implement all these things. The concept is clear, I hope. What is the purpose of the control statement? If you observe the word control statements, the execution of the statements not in your hands if you are not implementing control statements. If you want to get the control, the execution of the statements, you can get that with help of the control statements concept. Control the execution of the statements. What is the meaning of control in this case? Suppose if you want to skip some statements, if you want to skip some blacks, if you want to execute one statement more than one time, this type of the control you will get. If you are not using the control in the hands of JVM in case of the Java, okay, the JVM has the control to execute your program. But if you implement control statement concept, you can decide, you can control the execution statements, the sequence of these statements to be executed, you can control that. Then coming to the control statement concept, we have several control statements. In that, if else is the first one. Or some people may say that simple if also, but I'm implementing those two in the single one. If else. See this program, you can understand the importance of the if else. Class name, you can give any name without spaces. Within the main method, what I'm writing is int x assignment 10, storing the 10 into the x, y assignment 12. Observe this. This is very important part. Seventh statement is important. Now see, while we are implementing the if, this is syntax is similar to the CCPP also. If you have the knowledge about CCPP, it is very easy to understand. If, and this is the condition. You can frame the condition by using the any relational operator. X plus y less than 10. If x plus y is less than 10, if this condition is true, what is the statement or what are the statements available within the if block will be executed. In this example, so this is if block, which is highlighted is the if block. So within the if block, we have only one statement, ninth statement. If this seventh statement is true, ninth statement will be executed. If seventh statement returns false, this complete block will be ignored. That block may have single statement, may have the multiple statements also. In this example, I have written only single statement in this block. If you want to write 10 statements, 100 statements, that is up to you depending on your requirement. If this condition returns false, these will be skipped. If block will be skipped, only else part will be executed. This is else part. Okay. In our example, 10, 12, 10 plus 12, 22. If 22 less than 10, obviously 22 less than 10 is false. So in this case, this block will be ignored. If block will be ignored. And in this case, the condition returns false. Whenever the condition returns false, else block will be executed. So if we execute this program, we'll get this statement. This statement will be skipped. Now you can understand all these statements, even though we are writing a 19th statement as part of our code, this 9th statement won't be executed. Now we are controlling the execution steps, execution sequence. Some statements may not be executed in this code. This is how we are handling the controlling. Okay. Now let us execute this. See, the output is x plus y is greater than 20. Okay. That is the output. Where we have written is, see now. This is the output what we got. System.out.println x plus y is greater than 20. Right? This is about if else. And see one more control statement concept, switch case. If else, and switch case also very important one. See, This is very simple again. We can take any variables and store some values. Okay. In this example, I am storing 44 in the variable number and creating one variable size of string type. We are not assigning any value for the variable size. And this is where we are implementing the switch case. In this case, switch is a keyword. Switch is a keyword. We need to pass one parameter value for this switch. Parameter is nothing but after the switch, we need to write parenthesis. What is the value we are writing within the parenthesis? Generally, that is called parameter value. Okay. Switch number. So what is the value we have in the number? 44. So switch 44. Open the block. To create the block in the Java, we use curly braces. Open the block of switch. In this case, we use one more keyword, case. Case is also one of the keywords in the Java. How to write the code? Case space. Everything is very important. After the case, you must give the space. Otherwise, you will get an error. Case space some value, that may be integer value, that may be a string value, whatever. In this case, I am taking 29. Now, whatever the value you can take, not only 29, any integer value. Okay. So how the execution will be? Whatever the value you have in the switch, for this switch, we are giving some value now. What is that value? 44. We are writing number is a variable, but already we stored 44 in that number. So the switch have the value 44. So that value is equivalent to any one of the cases available in the switch. We need to check that. So case 29, 29 not equals to 44, 42 not equal. So now 44. So what is the value we have in the switch variable? So if that value is equivalent to any case, that case only will be executed. Remaining all cases will be ignored. Remaining all the cases will not be executed. This is the execution procedure while we are implementing switch case concept. Okay. So here 44, only that particular case will be executed. So in our example, so size assignment large will be executed. The value large we are assigning for the variable size, where size is a variable of string type. Already we declared that in the 8th statement. Okay. And break, coming to the break, why we are writing the break is, if you are not writing the break, whenever it matches to the value of the switch, that case will be executed obviously, but remaining following cases also will be executed even though the value is not equal to switch. But that is not we are expecting. What we are expecting from this switch case is, I want to execute a single case, which case value is equal to the switch only. I don't want to execute any remaining cases. But here that won't be happen if you are not writing break. When you write the break, the execution of the case will be stopped with this case only. The remaining cases will not be executed. What are the cases we have written after this 4, after this 44th case? Those will not be executed. If you remove the break, 44 is equal to the switch, so this will be executed. After that, this case also will be executed. Okay. Whenever you find matching case, that case will be executed. Along with that matching case, the following cases also will be executed if you are not writing the break statement. I want to give the break to the execution with that particular case. That's why we should write break statement. Okay. Now, see case 48. After that, default case. Why we are writing default case? Suppose the given switch value is not equal to any existing value, any case value. In that case, the default case will be executed. Let me show you that. Suppose we have 44 now. So which case will be executed? 44 case only. Let me execute this first. Size equals to large. Large must be assigned. Now see, size large. For example, if I change the number value to 49, do we have the value 49 in the case? Check it. case 29, 42, 44, 48 only. There is no 49 case. But run this again. Now see the output is size unknown. How we are getting this unknown? Because we are writing that statement in the default case. Now you may understand what is the importance of the default case. Whatever the value we supplied for the switch is not equal to any case. All the cases are failed. In that case, default case will be executed. And one more important point, we need to write a keyword case for each and every case. For the default case, even though we are using the word default case, you should not write the word case here. You must write the word default only. You should not write the word case here. Default colon. That's it. And you must write colon here for each and every case. Okay. And what you want to execute in the case of all the cases are failed, you must write in the default. So in this example, we are assigning unknown to the size in the default. That's why we are getting the output size is unknown. This is how to work with the switch case. Done.
సార్ వన్ క్వశ్చన్ సార్, దీనికి నా మొన్న ఏమైనా క్లాస్ తీసుకున్నారా సార్ మీరు? ఎందుకంటే
అవును
నేను
కదా.
అవును సార్,
This is fifth class.
5th క్లాస్. ఓకే ఓకే సార్. అది ఓల్డ్ కూడా కొద్దిగా అది పవర్ పాయింట్ పంపిస్తారు సార్ కొద్దిగా,
Sure,
మీ
sure.
వాట్సాప్ నంబర్ ఇస్తే.
Okay, Mira, otherwise, open the YouTube. You already all the lessons are uploaded in my YouTube channel.
యూట్యూబ్ ఛానల్ చెప్పండి సార్.
Shravan Kumar Gurram. Open the YouTube channel,
ఓకే
YouTube, and type Shravan
ఓకే
space Kumar space Gurram,
ఓకే సార్.
Gurram. So you will get all these
ఓకే ఓకే
lessons
సార్. ఓకే రైట్,
for
ఓకే
in
రైట్
detail
సార్.
explanation. Okay.
ఓకే రైట్, ఓకే సార్. థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
Okay. Now I think switch case is clear. Any doubts regarding to switch case?
No, sir.
Okay. After that, let us start looping concept. Then now see what is the use of looping concept, why we go for the looping concept. So looping concepts are used to execute a single statement multiple times. For example, I want to print the text welcome 10 times. Let us say there is no concept of looping. How to write the program? System.out.println welcome one time. And we need to write the same statement second time also, same code. Second time, third time, fourth time, and so on. But if you want to print the same message 100 times, what do you want to do? You need to write 100 times. But this is not correct way, because as a developer, you need to focus on the logic. You don't need to repeat the same code again and again by writing. Your time will be wasted. So for that, we don't want to write the same code again and again. I want to reduce the duplications. I want to write a statement one time. How many times you want to execute the same statement, you can execute depending on your required number of the times. Okay, write once, execute many number of the times. This is the advantage of looping concept. See now, in this program, I want to print the text welcome 10 times. Okay, I want to print welcome 10 times. How to write the program for this? Class name is while. So main method. Within the main method, see, I assignment 1, we create the variable I and storing the value 1. Now observe this. This is very important point. Sixth statement. I less than or equals to 10. What is the meaning of this? What is the value of I? 1. So 1 less than or equals to 10. Nothing but I want to execute this whenever the I value reaching the value 10 less than or equals to 10. Nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If the I value becomes 11, this condition becomes false. Okay. So whenever this condition becomes false, the execution come out from this black. If the condition is true, we need to execute the same statements. Whatever we have in the block will be repeatedly. Those statements will be executed repeatedly if the condition is true. Let us trace this program. First, see now, while I less than 10, I equals to 1. 1 less than or equals to 10. So that is true, right? 1 less than or equals to 10. That is true. If it is true, then only the control is going to enter into the while black. While black means this one. Okay, this is while black. Now it's clear. System.out.println welcome will be executed. Nothing but welcome will be printed one time. Then I plus plus. Here I plus plus means what is the value we have in the I will be incremented by 1. I plus plus statement is equals to I assignment I plus 1. So what is the value we have I will be incremented by 1, and the same value will be updated in the within the same variable again. Or simply we can say that the previous value will be incremented by 1. So what is the previous value of I? 1. Now I value becomes 2 and closing the while loop. But this is very, very important point again. If this is a normal blank, the control must comes out from 10th statement to 11th statement. But this is the looping concept. If it is a looping black, obviously while is a looping concept. Whenever it reaches to the ending point of the any looping concept, that should be redirected to the starting point again. You must remember this point. What is the rule? If you are working with any looping concept, whenever the control reaches to the ending point of the loop, that must be redirected to the starting point of that loop. What is the starting point of the loop in this example? Sixth statement. So whenever the control reaches to the 10th statement, that is again redirected to the sixth statement. Now again this condition will be evaluated. What is the value of I now? 2. 2 less than or equals to 10. That is also true. If it is true, again we are entering into the black. System.out.println welcome. Again welcome will be printed second time. I plus plus. I value becomes 3. And the same way reaching to the ending point, I value will be incremented now. Na? Okay, 3. Reaching to the ending point, coming to the starting point, 3 less than or equals to 10. Again true. Third time welcome will be printed and so on. Okay. And whenever it reaches to the 11, I value becomes 11, the condition becomes false. Whenever this condition evaluated to false, it comes out from this black. Then only it reaches to the 11th statement. If you have any statements at the 11th or 12th, those will be executed. Okay, this is about while loop. Let us execute this. This is 1 minute. Yes. Execute. Now see, output of this program is welcome 10 times. 10 times the text welcome will be printed. Okay, this is about while loop. So the loopings we have in Java are while, do while, for loop. Okay, these are the basic looping concepts in Java. We have for each also, but generally for each is used to working with the collections concept, that is next level. But if you get the question in the exam, you can write two types of the loops are there: while loop, do while, and for loop. Okay, you must write the explanation what we discussed just now and write simple program. With help of this, you will get good marks. Then second one is do while. Now see, probably it is similar to the while, but the difference is here we are using one more keyword do. Okay, do and write the statements. What are the statements you want to execute it repeatedly? You must write in the do block. And where we need to write while? At the end of this block. This is the do while block. Na? At the end, observe here in the 11th statement, we are writing while condition. But if you observe in the previous example, we have written the while statement at the starting of the block. But here we are writing the while statement at the ending of the block. This is the major difference when you compare while with do while. Okay. And how the execution will be in the do while? I assignment one, do. So here again, very important point is without checking the condition, the first iteration will be done. Iteration means how many times. Okay. So first iteration without checking any condition. Here we are not checking any condition. In the sixth statement, we don't have any condition. I assignment one, do. So entering into the block. What is the statement we have in the block? System.out.println will come. So welcome will be printed. Now I becomes 2 because we have written I++. Now coming to the 10th statement, here the condition will be evaluated. At the ending of the block, we have written the condition. So after completion of the first iteration, the condition will be evaluated. This is the major difference. The value of the I is 2 now because we assigned with 1, that is incremented by 1. Now the I value is 2. 2 less than or equals to 10, true. So if it is true, again it should be redirected to the 7th statement. And what are the statements we have in the block will be executed second time also. Welcome will be printed. I becomes 3. While 3 less than or equals to 10, again true. Again redirect into the 8th statement. Again increment and so on. Like this, 10 times that will be evaluated. After that, I becomes 11. So the loop execution will be terminated. See now, let me execute this program also. Now see the output of this program will. Okay, this is about do while. In the same way, you can use third type of the looping concept, for loop. This is very important one, very efficient one. Generally, we use for loop in the coding because simple to write and very simple to understand also. Series int I. We declared one variable, but we are not assigning any value here. Just we declared that. We are not assigning any value. Coming this 7, 8, 9, 10th statement. For is a keyword. Observe this, what we are writing within the for. For parenthesis. Starting value of the looping variable. Starting value and condition and updated value. So in technical terms, we can say that initialization, condition, update expression or increment, decrement, you can say for the third value. This is starting point, initialization, semicolon. You must write semicolon here. These three parts are separated with semicolon, not with comma. Condition part, decrement part, decrement or increment, depending on your requirement, you can write anything. So it should be called as update expression part, initialization part, condition part, update expression part. Now, within the for loop, what do we want to do? Just I want to print the value of 5. What is the value of 5? 10. Initialization with the 10. So 10 value will be printed first. It reaches to the ending point. So as we are working with the looping concept, it should be redirected to the starting point again for loop. Now, this is again important point. When it reaches to the for loop again, seventh statement, the value of I will be decremented depending on this code. 10, previous value of the I was a 10. I minus minus means 1 minus 1. 10 minus 1. I minus minus means I minus 1. Means 10 minus 1. Becomes 9. Now with the updated value, the condition will be checked again. At this moment, the value of I is 9. 9 greater than or equals to 1. That is true. If it is true, again we are going to enter into the loop. What are the statements or what is the statement available in the block that will be executed again? So I value will be printed second time. So what is the value of I at this moment? 9. 9 will be printed. Closing point. Again this. So you must remember, initialization part will be executed only one time when we entered first time into the loop. Okay. And after execution of the statements within the block, every time that should be redirected to the update expression part. After updating the looping variable, with the updated value, the condition will be evaluated. If that is true, again it is going to enter into the loop. This will be repeated until the condition becomes false. Whenever the condition is false, it comes out from the looping for loop. Okay, it comes out from the for loop. See this? Let us execute. This is the output of for loop program. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Suppose I want to print 1 to 10. This is the output for 10 to 1. Then how to print 1 to 10? Very simple. See now. Starting value is 1. So I assignment 1. You must change like this. Then how to generate second value? 1, 2, 3, 4. Every time incremented by 1. So you must increment here. I plus plus. Where you want to start? I less than or equals to 10. Okay, that is your condition because I want to print the value if that value is less than or equals to 10. Otherwise, let me change it. Up to 20, I want to print. See now, starting with 1 and second value will be generated like this. If we add 1 to the existing value, second value will be generated. If we add 1 to the second value, third value will be generated. Okay, like this. I plus plus means. Until the given value is less than or equals to 20, the statements will be repeated. You must understand like this. See the output. See, this is the output 1 to 20. Okay. So if you understand the concept, you can change the code. Okay. Try to understand what's happening and what is the execution method, where the execution starts, where the execution ends, what is the steps we need to follow while implementing for. If you understand that clearly, you can change the code as per your requirement. Now, let me tell you one more important point regarding to the control statements concept itself. Break, very important topic again. Break and continue, these two are also important. Now see, already we used break in the switch case also, right? So generally we use break with the switch case and any looping concept. So then what is the use of break in this case of the looping concept? Simple. See now, starting value is 1. you can write plus plus 1 or I plus plus I or I plus plus. Two are valid in this case. Okay, depending on the case, that may give the different meaning. In this case, two are valid. Otherwise, if you get confused, let me change it I plus plus again. I plus plus I less than or equals to 10. Okay. Now see this code. If I is equal to 5, if I is equal to 5, I want to implement break. So if there is no break, let us say this, we are not writing this statement, highlighted code, we are not writing. I assignment 1, I less than or equals to 10, I plus plus, and printing the value. Already we implemented this code just now. We are getting 1 to 10, that is the output. 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 10. But if we write like this, what will be happen? Observe the output. Now see, we are getting the output up to the 4 only. 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you observe the code, we are writing the condition like I less than or equals to 10. So you need to understand the point from this is, even though as per your rule, as per your condition, what you are writing in the for loop, that code is useful to print the values from 1 to 10. But forcefully, I want to stop the execution of the looping by using break. I want to give the break to the execution of the looping. That is the importance of the break. Then where you want to give the break, you must specify that. In the ninth statement, if you observe, I want to give the break when the I value is reached to the 5. Whenever the I value is equal to the 5, I want to give the break. Nothing but I want to stop the execution of this loop. If the value is reaching to the 5 means, previously the iterations were executed for the values of I are 1, 2, 3, 4. Whenever it reaches to the 5, this will come out for the for loop. That's why we are not getting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the looping. For more clarity, suppose if I write 3, I is equal to 3. Whenever it reaches to the value 3, it stops the execution. Nothing but we are getting the output 1, 2 only. If it reaches 3, it comes out from the complete loop. So 3, 4, 5, you won't get those values in the output. See now, 1, 2 only. Okay, this is about break. Simply, if you want to stop the looping concept rule forcefully, you can go for the break concept. One more important keyword is continue. See, otherwise, let me use the same program. Let me write continue here. Continue. Then, if we execute this program, observe the output. See now?
Sir, the screen is not set.
Oh, 1 minute. Okay. Let me repeat it again. Now see, this is the example code for the continue. Same code, but in place of the break, I'm writing continue. That is the only change what I have done in this code. If we execute this program, see the output 1, 2, 4. 3 is missing there. 1, 2, 4, and remaining all are as usual 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, how can we understand the nature of the continue? Whenever we are using continue statement, this is going to suspend the particular iteration. What does it mean? Whenever the I value is equal to 3, that particular iteration only, that particular third iteration only will be cancelled. And it is used to continue the execution of remaining iterations. Nothing but fourth iteration, fifth iteration, sixth iteration, and so on. 10th iterations will be continued. That is the meaning of continue statement. Only this particular iteration will be cancelled. So in our coding, what we are writing is, I want to skip third iteration, but I want to continue the remaining iterations after the 3, 4, 5, and so on. That's why in the iteration of the 3, when the control reaches to the continue keyword, it skips the execution of the remaining statement what we have in that iteration. So in the third iteration, this statement will not be executed, because whenever the JVM finds continue, it goes to the next iteration without executing the following statements. Okay, suppose if you write fourth here, fourth statement will be ignored, fourth iteration will be ignored. Whenever it reaches to the continue statement in the fourth iteration, the remaining statements after the continue keyword will not be executed. That's why you won't get 4 in the output, because this printing statement is not executing in that particular iteration. See, if we write the code like this, you won't find 4 here. 1, 2, 3, after that 5, 6 only. Okay, this is about break. So this is complete about control statements concept. Okay, let us repeat what we covered in the control statements concept. Control statements concept is used to control the execution sequence, control the sequence of the statements to be executed. Without using the control statements concept, the statements are executed in the order in which order you develop the code. But if you use the control statements concept, you can skip some statements, or you. And what are the categories we have? If else, nested if. Of course, you want to write if within the another if also we can nested if, else if, and so on. Those are called selection statements or branching statements. And coming to the looping statements, while, do while, for. These are called looping statements. Looping statements are used to execute the single statement or multiple statements more than one time, multiple times, or repeatedly. If you want to execute same statement or statements, you can go for the looping concepts. We have 3 loops basically: while, do while, Java. Sorry. While, do while, for loop in Java. Okay, and coming to the remaining 2, we covered break and continue. Generally, break is used to stop the iterations, not only particular iteration, it stops the remaining iterations also. Okay, and continue, it stops the current iteration, but it is used to continue the remaining iterations. That is a major difference between break and continue. And also we covered switch case. In the switch case, what is the value we supplied for the switch? The same value will be executed. The same, in which case we have the same value, that particular case only will be executed. Remaining cases will be ignored. That is about switch case. And the default case, whenever the remaining all the cases are failed, in that cases, default case will be executed. Switch case is also part of the branching statement only. Okay, this is about complete structure of the control statement concept, very important. Any doubts regarding this? Right. Shall I conclude?
What I want to know, sir, what I want to know, how we can make games with this, sir, with Java, sir.
If you want to implement games, we need to implement a
Uh,
multi-threading concept. Generally, in the
okay, sir.
animations, we use multi-threading concept. So
Okay.
we want to learn more and more concept. This is very, very basic standard in Java.
Okay, sir.
Whatever the topics we
Okay.
are discussing, very basic elementary level.
Okay, sir.
Okay, we need to learn more and
Mm.
more to develop to know the topics what we use to develop the games. Generally, if you want
Okay,
to
right, sir.
develop mobile related games, we can go for the special edition J2ME, Java for developing
Mm.
the mobile applications. That is separate editions we have. With help of that, we can develop the mobile related all apps, not only the games, all apps.
Okay, right, sir. Okay.
Okay, so many
Sir,
thousands
do
of
you,
topics we have.
okay, right, sir. Sir, do you show us little the code of that, how we can make those ones?
That is out of our syllabus. That's why I'm not ready
Okay,
with that code. What is the
okay, right, sir.
material I prepared is for you people as per
Mm.
your syllabus.
Okay, right, sir. Okay, right, sir.
Yeah. Anyway, right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.